Hey, 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 you've been disqualified, you bastard. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Hookster Talks with me and Mr. TB the Bear. TB the Bear, everyone's favourite bear. And look, I'm out of breath. I just run up the well, I can't run anywhere, but I just walked fast up the stairs. Mr. TB the Bear, everyone's favourite bear and absolute Lewis Hamilton #1 fan. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Yes. Yes. What's been happening this week? You've been watching a lot of fixed videos. You poor lad. You better have a lie down now then. You better have a lie down then, TB. Have a lie down, mate. There you go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Oh, where's my chat? Where's my chat? Chat, where are you? There you are. There you are. Excuse me while I work this out. Put you up there, Dave. Put you centralised in the middle. And there's the chat. We'll put the chat over there a tiny bit. Where's the... Yeah, we don't need that bit, do we? We'll have that bit there like that. There we go. Make myself a little bit bigger. That's what she said. Here we go. Right. Let's start the show. Hello, Mr. Will F1. He says, Carmen Jordan has returned to LP. Has she? Has she really? Oh, my goodness. Get Adrian Newey on this all season's rubbish. Yes. Yes. I've actually done this week's, but... Where's my pen? I've done this week's, but that's a good idea for next week, actually. Adrian Newey. Let me write him down, because, of course, there's some news about Adrian Newey, isn't there? We'll get to that in a minute. Adrian Newey. Patrick Head. Oh, my goodness. Patrick Head. There you go. Thanks for that, Will. I will get to those. As I say, I've done this week's, but the reason I've done it early is because it was content specific. You'll probably know who it is. Content specific from what was happening a certain time last week. Right, anyway, here we go. Hello, Mr. Plynal Plessy. What's on stream? He says, congratulations to Lando Norris on winning the Qatar Grand Prix. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Congratulations to Lando Norris. Now, tomorrow will be the crucial part of the championship. If Lando Norris wins the sprint tomorrow, I'm pretty much sure that's going to be it. He's going to win the championship, because then he can relax for the race, because he's got those 8 points in the bag. He can relax in the race, and basically he just sit there in second place if he wants to. No pressure, just do the race, and then of course it'll go down to Abu Dhabi. Now, of course, if he wins the sprint and the main race, then it is, of course, all over. All over, and Lando Norris will be world champion, and I will be disappearing into a hole for the next 4 months until F1 returns. Oh my God. Congratulations to Lando Norris on winning the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Yes. Congratulations to Lando Norris on winning his first world championship. Well, it looks pretty much like that's what's going to happen. 24-point gap between him and, of course, Oscar's pastry, and equally with Max Verstappen as well, because he's level on points now with Oscar's pastry. So, yeah. All Lando's got to do is score points. That's all he's got to do. Score points, and he's got the championship, really, isn't he? Because he's got that 24-point pocket in the bag that he doesn't really even need to lean on, because he just needs to go in the last race and just score points. Doesn't even have to score as many as the two rivals. He's just got to score those points, and then I think he's going to clinch it. Yes. Get Ron Dennis on the... Oh, Ron Dennis, blimey. Let's put him up there. Forgot about old Ron Dennis. I wonder what he's doing now. Is he still on gardening leave? No Plynal, says Will. Max Verstappen is winning it all. There you go. You heard it here first. Hello, Shane. Well, Jesus. Hi, Dave. Do you think they'll ever get a Formula 1 season? Sorry, I'll read that properly. Do you think we'll ever get a Formula 1 season without a night race? I don't think so, Shane. I think the night races are pretty much part of the DNA now of Formula 1, and I think they will continue. They will continue. In fact, another 10 years' time, we may get a few more. I've got a suspicion. We may get a few more. Congratulations to Lando Norris on bottling the Qatar Grand Prix. Since they first ever raced in Singapore in 2008, there hasn't been a Formula 1 season without a night race. This is true. And at Abu Dhabi, Norris will crash into the ground below Ferrari World. That would be a thing, wouldn't it? That would be a thing. I've seen someone call Norris Nozza. 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 I like that. Hi, TB, says Shane. Hi, Shane. Here he is again. TB! TB the bear. Now, all feel sorry for TB. He's having a really rough year this year, being a number one Lewis Hamilton fan. Oh my goodness. Yes, it's almost as bad as being a McLaren fan, to be honest. Almost, but not quite. Almost, but not quite. But yeah, wowzers, 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 wowzers. TB naked. Yes, he is naked. Look, there he is. He's got no clothes on. Can you see his willy? Can you see it? Look, there's his willy. Look. He swears it's there, but I can't see a bloody thing. No. Can't see a bloody thing. What's he waving his leg around like that? Stop it, TB. Stop it. Stop it. It would be more authentic, Dave, if they couldn't see your fingers. Yeah, that's it. But no, go. That's it. There you go. No, they can still... No, you've just blown it. Just the illusion's gone. Just give it up now. Just give it up. Get Anton Deck on this all season's rubbish. Yes. Oh dear, I feel sorry for TB now. Yes, you should do, because number one Lewis Hamilton fan. Number one Lewis Hamilton fan. So, the shock news of last week's Grand Prix was that both the McLarens were disqualified for being a pair of planks. Yes. Not the car, the drivers. Yes. So, yes, they were disqualified. And naturally, the internet has exploded with conspiracy theories about what has happened and about how it's a complete contrivance and how it's all been orchestrated to let Max Verstappen win the championship. This would be a fair assumption. But I saw a wonderful little website the other day. And I must apologise because I can't remember the name of the website. It was called GP something. But I think it was one. I think it was GP1. I'm not quite sure. It certainly wasn't GP fans because I don't trust what they say. They're all clickbait. But it was GP something. I was more interested in the article than I was about where it was coming from, and I must apologise for that. But yes, it was a wonderful article, and it explained in depth and in detail about exactly what happened during that race and how McLaren came into the situation of having too much plank wear. And it even explains why Lando Norris slowed down at the end of the Grand Prix, because he was catching Max, and then suddenly this huge gap started to appear. And basically, it was because the team knew they were getting very marginal on the plank wear. So they were telling Lando, you've got to slow down. You've got to slow down. Otherwise, we could be in trouble. So the team actually knew they were in trouble before it even went to scrutineering. They knew they were going to be on the margins. So they asked Lando to, just slow down a bit. And if you look at it like that, excuse me, I'm going to cough. If you look at it like that with common sense, that whole thing makes complete sense now, what happened during the race. There was so many mitigating circumstances that caused that to happen. If you just look at it, it was just the fact that it was raining and they didn't get the full practice running during the first practice session, which is when they usually do their long runs. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. But oh no, we've got supermen out there with their underpants outside of their trousers, claiming it was all fixed and all faked. And what are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about 1 millimeter difference. Those planks of wood start 10 millimeters. They're allowed to wear 1 millimeter. That's it. Now, if anyone's used a ruler, you would know exactly what 1 millimeter is. In fact, I know there's a few YouTubers out there who probably know what 1 millimeter is as well. But it's what we used to call in the old days a gnat's cock. Yes, it's so tiny you can't even see it. In fact, one of the Sky team, I saw a little video explained it. It's basically the width of a credit card, which I haven't got here because no, they took all my credit cards away. Boo! But yeah, it's basically the width of a credit card. That is the difference of 1 millimeter. It's absolutely tiny. Now they put skid blocks, titanium skid blocks, underneath to try and make sure that the wear doesn't go down to this 1 millimeter limit. But unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't work. And that's exactly what happened to McLaren. Now, all these conspiracy theorists come out and say whatever they come out and say, but the mere fact of the matter is, we have had planks on the cars for 30 years. 30 years now. Yes, I know it seems crazy, but yes, the planks were first introduced in 1995 after the 94 season, when everyone knows that there was a certain Benetton that wasn't playing by the rules, and it was designed for that purpose, and that is to make sure that the ride height of the cars couldn't reach a below minimum level so that they would gain an advantage. Now, what advantage could McLaren have got from 1 millimeter between 10 millimeter? Not a lot. I did see a technical explanation, and it's not even a tenth per lap. It's so marginal. It's unbelievable. So yeah, it's basically to stop them putting the ride height so far down that they can gain an advantage. That's why it was introduced, because a lot of the teams back in the early 90s were starting to experiment with getting that ride height so low that they were gaining an advantage. So that's why the Le Plank was brought in 1995. So, 30 years now we have had this. It's not like they've been on the car for a couple of years and, 30 years they've been managing this. And over that 30 years, a lot of cars and a lot of teams have fallen foul of the regulations. And it's just one of those things. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc earlier in the year, just this year, also fell foul of the regulations, and both those cars were disqualified. It's just one of those things. It happens. It's no conspiracy whatsoever. Anyway, as everyone knows, I'm a 100% Mr. Jimmy Atkins fan, and I did watch his video. I did watch his video about the incident, and it's just such a laugh. It's such a laugh. It really is. The fact that he's so convinced that he's right is just so funny to me. It really is. He's just so convinced he's right, and he just thinks that. I mean, let's face it. He thinks he's Batman. Yeah, he thinks he's Bruce Wayne, and he's Batman as well, because he's fighting for the injustice. But let's put this into perspective, okay? He makes videos on YouTube. They get an average of about 1,000 views. Yeah. Okay. He keeps saying about taking these people to court. If he ever took any of these to court, where's he going to get the money from to actually pay for the court fees? Because, I'm pretty sure Google AdSense isn't paying him that much money. No. If it's more than about £10 a month, I'd be very, very surprised. So, yeah, it's just so funny. That guy's just brilliant. He really is. He's a complete Fruit Loop. Absolute Fruit Loop. And the worst Fruit Loops are actually the ones that leave the comments on his videos, because they haven't got a clue either. And they just keep repeating the same thing over and over. It's just funny. I don't even watch the video. I just go straight to the comments every time. Don't even watch the videos. Can't be bothered. I'm not going to sit there and watch a 2-hour video explaining the 2019 race. Who is going to do that? I mean, he even showed us his analytics a couple of weeks ago, and it clearly showed that they basically watch for 5 minutes and then it goes, boing, it drops like a stone. So it's like, yeah, that's it. I'm done. Nobody's going to sit there for a 2-hour video. No one is going to sit there for a 2-hour video. It's just crazy. I don't know why he wastes his time making 2-hour videos. I've always been on the principle of I make my videos as close as I can get to an episode of The Simpsons. 26 minutes. That's as long as most people's attention spans before they start waning. 26 minutes. Sometimes if I have the all seasons with sprint rounds in it, it goes to about 31. I'm not happy about doing it at 31, but I like it about 26 minutes, and that's what I try to achieve. But 2-hour video on a race from 20. Who is going to watch that? Who is going to watch that? It's a waste of time for him as well. It really is. But he's so wrapped up in his own self-importance, he just can't see it. And I think that's even more funny, to be honest. Anyway, let's get off him. Hello, Mr. Rugara. Go, George Russell. Yes. Also, that's the thing, Dave. Since their first ever night race in Singapore in 2008, night races have become popular in Formula 1. Yes, they have. Piastri to regroup and take the championship. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Lots of things going on behind the scenes with Oscar's pastry. Unfortunately, he's under quite a lot of pressure. So I've been reading. So yeah, I think he's probably gonna. Well, I don't know. Max could actually overtake him, and he could end up third in the championship. But anyway, we will see. I had the F1 Academy on, and Ben Edwards was commentating. There was a crash on the formation lap. Oh my goodness! Speaking of fixed, he did make a video about the last Vegas. He did, I know he did, yeah. He left it for about 2 days, and everyone in the comments was going, come on, James, make your bloody video. But I actually thought to myself, no. Surely he can't make a video out of this. But he did. And what did he claim? Oh, it was all fixed. Yes, it was all fixed. All because when the technical delegate took the readings, and they came out with, it was 8.88 for the, I won't bore you with the millimetres, but you know what it was. It was 8.8 for the front and 8.93 for the back, or so like. Anyway, when they took those measurements, obviously it went to McLaren, and McLaren wanted to appeal it, obviously, because they're in a world championship. So obviously they're going to appeal. That's just common sense. So they measured it again. And when they measured it again, the results were even worse. But that doesn't matter. The fact is, they failed the first time, and then they failed the second time. It doesn't matter that the results were different. They failed both times. Yeah, if they'd taken the second result and it had actually been higher and they'd actually been within the regulations, yes, there would have been calls for McLaren to protest. But they'd already failed the first time, and then they failed the second time. Doesn't matter how many times you keep testing them. If they fail every time, they failed. And that's what he couldn't understand. All he's going on about was, but yeah, because the measurements were different, and that's all a contrivance. I was like, you don't even know what you're saying to yourself. I wonder if he practices in front of a mirror. His madness. Does he talk to himself to prep himself? I don't know. I really don't. The best laugh I had with Mr. Fixed was a few weeks ago now, when he put that complaint form about that judge or whatever it was. Oh my God, I laughed like a drain. I really did. I could not understand how he thought that was worthy of being an official complaint. I've never seen so many capital letters in a complaint form in all my life. Now, as anyone knows, capital letters, basically in word form, it's like you're shouting at someone. And when someone starts to read something that's full of capital, they just, no, can't be bothered. If he wanted to emphasise words, yeah, then he should have put them in bold. bold letters. That's how you don't make your statement full of capital letters. No, that's not how you do it. And yet he thought that was perfectly acceptable, and then he submitted it. That was the best laugh. He said, "I'm going to submit this form now," and I thought, "Don't do it, James. Don't do it." But he did. He submitted the form. Yes. And then afterwards, I don't think anyone noticed this apart from me. I was looking at the submitted form, and right where it says attention, somehow there's a W in the middle of attention. Where did that come from, James? From your officially submitted form. Where did the W in attention suddenly come from? Yeah. I think someone made it all up. Yes. I think someone made it. Go back and look at it yourselves, everyone. Don't trust me, but you will see in this officially submitted form, there's the word attention down the bottom, and there's a W in the middle of it. How did that work out? Because it didn't have the W in it before he submitted it, and then suddenly after he submitted it, it's got a W in it. Interesting. Now, there's a good conspiracy theory for you. Did he completely fake all of that? Ooh. Yeah, don't take my word for it. I looked at it and went, "That's interesting, James. How come there's now a W in attention, which there wasn't there before you submitted it?" Now, when he made the video, he says, "I'm just going to pause it for a moment." He says, "Well, I checked that my name and address doesn't come up on the screen," and then it came back, and I thought, "That's dodgy. There's something not right there. There's something not right there." Yes. Anyway, there you go. But yes, he actually submitted a form protesting about some judge or whatever. I don't know. No idea what he was protesting about. I mean, soon he'll be protesting that water's wet. Yes, he'll be saying, no, I don't agree with you. I don't think water's wet at all. No. What about when it's been sitting on your worktop for an hour? Surely that's dry by then. It's dry water, isn't it? Yes. Such a nut. Really is. But as I say, so are most of the people that comment on these videos as well. They just keep going around in circles and circles and circles, and that's what makes me laugh. I mean, the whole channel is just unbelievable. And everyone takes what he says as gospel, or everyone that follows him takes what he says as gospel, and it's truth. He's a YouTuber, and how many times have I said it before? Don't trust a YouTuber. No. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. Lovely. So if Singapore, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Saudi Arabia and Las Vegas were removed off the F1 calendar, that would be the first time since 2007 that no night race was held. Yes, indeed. Piastri with a breakout year. Breakout bottle job. Have you ever wondered why the Bahrain Grand Prix is at night now as it used to be during the day? I haven't wondered that actually, Shane. I'm not quite sure why it's at night now when it used to be during the day. Parallel Player says, on top of the pops, tomorrow night it's time for the biggest selling single of 1998, Believe, by Cher. Believe. I believe. Wasn't that the first instance of the old, what's that sound effect they started using in voices? I can't remember. It's a special machine that makes your voice sound different. What's the name of that machine? I can't remember. But it makes your voice sound like a bit reverby. And then it started getting really popular, and everyone started making songs using this machine. And I can't remember the bloody name of it. Anyway, moving on. But I'm sure that song was the first one that started using that. Also on tomorrow, my favourite game my favourite game, of course, the theme music to Gran Turismo 2. Yes, the intro, wasn't it, to Gran Turismo 2. Oh my god. Yes. Gran Turismo 2. That was an intro, wasn't it? That was an intro. Which you may know was the intro for... Yes, I did. I actually knew that, Mr. Pliner, without looking at your comment there. I only got as far as when you said cardigans. Then I just read the second bit, and yes, I knew it was from GT2. I'll tell you what, I used to play every time I play GT2, I just sit there and watch that whole intro first before I started playing the game. I mean, the intro's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes long, isn't it, with the song in it as well. But that was just glorious. And of course, it gave us a glimpse of future GT games because they were using like a pre-rendered intro that looked like what PS3 games would look. No, sorry, what PS2 games would look like, didn't it? So it was just like glorious. I remember with GT. This is the funny thing. I remember with GT Gran Turismo, the very first Gran Turismo on the PS1. I first started playing it, and this will make you laugh. Within 5 minutes, I went, you know what? I was talking about the graphics. I said, this is so damn good. I just can't see how this can ever be made to look better. And of course, but don't forget, I was saying that at the time. And now, of course, we've got what we've got now, 4K, bloody, super spectral resolution or whatever it's called on the PS5. I don't know. I don't go that far, but we've got all that now. And there was little old Dave back in what was it? Gran Turismo 2, 1999. Going, I don't know how these graphics can ever be better. Oh dear. What a tool. What a tool. Great. With 7 victories, Piastri has been a solid agent. There are some races in Formula 1 that don't last long, which are the Korean Grand Prix and the Indian Grand Prix. The Korean Grand Prix was first held in 2010 and the Indian Grand Prix was first held in 2011, but they only lasted until 2013, yes. Dave, you'll have to press all messages again. Paddock is in his chat, but the messages aren't showing, probably because of his username. Okay. Oh, it's up here, isn't it? All messages. So why is it not putting your messages up here? I'm a little bit confused. Why all your messages aren't coming up on here? Is it you or is it me? Is it you or is it me? I don't know. Well, I've got to read all his messages out now. Oh, great. He's here immediately. Can we have her at McLaren? She'd be a huge upgrade on the mental headaches we have right now. Yes. This team are driving me to drink. Get Oscar and Lando in the job centre. Yes. Wrong driver there. It's not completely over, but Max is the favourite by a mile regardless of the points gap. How do we think he's going to bottle it this week? Hey. YouTube has just given me an advert. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. I've got adverts on. Yes. That Las Vegas track might be the first that generally made me want to physically throw up. Chintzy isn't the word for that pile of cat. I know, it's a horrible circuit. I've said it before. It's just basically a square, isn't it? Let's face it. It's just a square. And I know they had the Las Vegas Strip, so they've got to incorporate the track with the Las Vegas Strip. I get that. I understand that. But surely they could have put a little bit more imagination into that circuit. Surely. McLaren are going to lose to Woody next season. Yes, they are. What pills are you on? Okay. Because temps were too hot during the day, making it dull, Shane. Oh, okay. There's your answer. There's your answer to the question you put. Right, I think we can incorporate him. Yeah, we can get him into the main chat now. Right. TMY deducted 1 million points from McLaren due to their faulty planks. Yes, so they should do. The planks go beyond the car. They do indeed. Fixed reminds me of Brian Harvey from E17. They have lost it. Thank you, Mr. Lionel Pessy. I knew you'd come up with the answer without me even having to Google it. That is correct. Auto-tune. I wouldn't swear to it, but I'm pretty sure that Cher song was the first one to use auto-tune. And then it just absolutely went mental and everyone started using it. I can remember lots of songs with auto-tune in them. Mostly by Britney Spears. Because she couldn't sing for shit, really, could she? Let's face it. Anyway, let's move on from Britney. Britney! But yes, that's a good analogy, that is. Brian Harvey from E17. James Atkins, 888. Yes. I wonder if that 888 is his birthday. If that's right, then he's like 36. Yeah, 36. Yes. Yes. If that's correct, I'm a little bit worried when pretty much every single video of his he comes out with, "Oh, got to excite the kiddies." That's a bit of a red flag for me. That's a bit of a red flag. But yeah, pretty much every video he comes out with that line. If he is 36, I say most people use their birthdays and disguise them in their usernames, don't they? That's what most people do. And so if it is 888 and it's 1988, then he is about, 36. So, yeah, that's a bit worrying. Auto-tune. Yes, auto-tune. Music sounds better with you. Well, I have actually heard why the Bahrain Grand Prix is at night. There is a short on YouTube telling you why the Grand Prix is at night. Oh, okay. 2nd of January is the start of 1999. It will soon be time for the debuts of Britney, Westlife, and the solo career of Jerry Halliwell, a.k.a. Horner. Jerry Halliwell. How many songs did she do on her own? 1? 2? GT2 was completely ahead of its time. I'm amazed how they were able to fit in so many cars on one disc. Me too. They couldn't fit the arcade mode in, so they had to do that on a separate disc. But actually getting all those cars on one disc, yes, a crown achievement. And they couldn't even do it on the PS2 version of GT3, could they? They couldn't even do it because they had to drastically reduce the cars down to about, I think, 150 in the end, wasn't it? And there was like 700 in GT2. 700 down to 150. But they did explain that it's because the cars used extra memory. So that's why they couldn't fit as many in the game. That's their excuse and they're sticking to it. I have to say the intro on Gran Turismo 2 is nostalgic. It sure is. Yes. I've got to find out how many songs Jerry Halliwell's. Did it? Oh my goodness gracious, bloody good gold. Apparently she did 11 singles as a solo artist. And I can't even remember one. She had 3 studio albums. Have we got a list of these 11 singles? Is there a list? Jerry Halliwell discography. That's the one. Oh, Scream If You Want to Go Faster. That was, I remember that one. Studio albums. Oh, right. These are the singles as main artist. Here we go. Look at Me. Machico Latino. Lift me up. Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one. Lift me up. Bag it up. Bag it up. It's rain. Oh, it's raining men, of course. Yes. Scream if you want to go faster. Call in. Ride it. Stop it now. Stop it. Make up your own jokes. Desire. Half of me. Angels in Chains. Doesn't seem to have been released anywhere. Yes. Wow. So I think, to be honest, out of all those, probably, yeah, It's Raining Men, which isn't even her song, did the best, didn't it? Look. Peak chart positions. UK first, fourth, first, fifth. That was her crowning glory. Oh, that's right. She did the old Flashdance rip-off, didn't she? I just remembered this. The old Flashdance rip-off. Yes, yes, I remember that now. Yes, I remember that now. Let's see if I can get away with like 10 seconds without getting copyrighted. But yes, I remember this. Now the question is, just like the movie Flashdance, is that really Jerry Halliwell's body? I don't think so. Look, you can't see her head, which just like they did it in Flashdance. In fact, if I remember rightly in Flashdance, during that dance sequence, I do believe that was a man. I do believe that was a man. Yes, if I remember rightly. Yes, Miss Halliwell. There we go. See if I can do 10 seconds without getting copy. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. Bloody hell. There we are, Jerry Halliwell. It's raining men. You can insert your own joke in there. Oh, yeah, I've almost forgot that one. GT2 intro movie. Oh, we got a remastered one here. Remastered one here. Let's have a look at this one. Remastered. So I got to mute it for copyright. They'll probably still get me anyway, but glorious. Look at it. See what I mean? This was giving us a glimpse of PS2 GT games with the pre-rendered cars. Because they looked pretty much like that when they came out on the PS2. But of course this was still the PS1. Oh yes. GT2. GT. Right, while I'm here, F1 news. Max Verstappen says Oscar Piastri can label himself a number 2 driver if he helps Lando Norris in the F1 title battle. Oh dear. Oh dear. Nasty. Spicy. Now, this is news that came out yesterday and I was very surprised about. But yes, Adrian Newey is to become the Aston Martin team principal from 2026 as Andy Carroll takes on a new role. Now, Adrian Newey has never been a team principal, of course. So this is going to be some very big shoes to fill because he's now going to be doing 2 roles, team principal and, of course, the designer of the car. Now, of course, the car was designed during the winter off-season anyway. So the car is ready to go from March. So the only thing left to do with the car from the whole of the Formula One season is extra developments, and stuff like that. So it is possible for Adrian to take on the role of team principal and actually run the team. But I was still very surprised at that news, because I've never actually thought of Adrian being a team principal. Yes, now of course this has now quashed the rumours that have been going around for weeks that Christian Horner was going to become the team principal of Aston Martin. Now, a lot of people were saying that Adrian Newey was well up for it, but some people are forgetting that it's pretty certain that the reason why Adrian Newey left Red Bull was because of Christian Horner. Of course, it's not confirmed, but if you just look at the way that it all panned out, the way Adrian left before Christian Horner left, it's pretty obvious that there was reasons, and those reasons were probably to do with Christian Horner in an aeroplane toilet on WhatsApp. Anyway, so here is the news. Design legend Adrian Newey will become team principal of Aston Martin at the start of next year as part of the extension of his role as managing technical partner. Newey began work with Aston Martin on March the 1st earlier this year, having spent the best part of 2 decades with Red Bull. As part of his revised role, Newey will guide the technical team, including trackside operations of the car. Andy Cowell, who has spent the last 2 years as team principal and CEO implementing structural changes to aid the squad's transition to a full works team next year, will become Chief Strategy Officer. His focus will be on optimising the technical partnership between the team, works engine supplier Honda, fuel supplier Aramco, and lubricant partner Valvoline. Why did I just put a huge grin on my face when I said the word lubricant? I've no idea. Stop it now. Stop. That just reminds me of that film. Evolution. Do you remember that film with David Duchovny and that other bloke from, I can't remember what film he was in. And he basically gets an alien stuck up his butthole. And they go, we need some lubricant. And someone else says, they're in the hospital. And he says, we need some lubricant. And said, we haven't got time for lubricant. And the bloke goes, there's always time for lubricant. I loved that bit. That was the funniest part of the film, because the rest of it was pretty dire. Done by the same bloke who did Ghostbusters, so yeah. Anyway, kind of a little bit off track there. Aston Martin says the leadership structure change is designed to focus on Newey and Cowell's individual strengths and expertise, ensuring organisational efficiency. There's the great man himself. Yes, Lawrence Stroll. Look at him. Yes. Cowell will report to Executive Chairman Lawrence Stroll, who will continue to lead the business functions of the team. Newey said, over the last 9 months, I've seen great individual talent within our team. I'm looking forward to taking on this additional role as we put ourselves in the best possible position to compete in 2026, where we'll face an entirely new position with Aston Martin, now a works team, combined with the considerable challenge faced by the new regulations. Andy's new role, focusing on the integration of the new PU with our 3 key partners, will be pivotal in this journey. Stroll said, Andy Cowell has been a great leader this year. He's focused on building a world-class team and getting them to work well together, as well as fostering a culture that puts the race car back at the heart of what we do. This leadership change is a mutual decision we have reached in the interest of the team. That sounds like lawyer speak to me. Yes. It's the lawyers. It's all the lawyers, isn't it? Yes. We will look forward to continuing working with him in his new capacity as Chief Strategy Officer. Cowell added, having implemented much needed structural changes as we transition to a full works team and set the foundations for Adrian and the wider organisation, it's an appropriate time for me to take a different role as Chief Strategy Officer. In this role, I help to optimise the technical partnership between the team, Honda, Aramco and Valvoline to ensure the seamless integration of the team's new... I think I read that earlier. Aston Martin have had a difficult season and are currently 8th in the team's championship, 3 places lower than they finished last year with just 2 race weekends to go. Newey has been working on next year's design, which will be built to sweeping new chassis and power unit regulations since he joined in March, with the team hoping to herald a new era and step up the order. Is it going to happen though? Is it going to happen? Now, of course, Adrian didn't have any influence on this year's car. All he could do was put a few developments on it. I can't say we've seen any of the Adrian Newey effect, to be honest, at the moment. I can't see it. No, I think Aston would have been in the same position this year had Adrian Newey joined or not. Because don't forget, Adrian's been concentrating fully on next year's car. He's not really been bothered about this year's car whatsoever. That was designed by someone else the year before, so it was nothing to do with him. He's probably managed to get a few development parts put on the car, but apart from that, it was nothing to do with him. It's like babysitting your someone else's child. It's nothing to do with you really, but you do it anyway, don't you? But yeah, that's obviously what he's been doing, and hopefully we're going to get a good car next year. Now look, you can buy Aston Martin t-shirts. I bet they're about 70 quid. But anyway, there you go. Now just looking at the top of the screen, I can see that Qatar's FP1 starts in 15 hours, 11 minutes and 48 seconds. So yes, the Formula 1 circus is resuming very, very quickly. It's only been, 4 days since the last Grand Prix. And in 15 hours, they'll be starting the next Grand Prix. Amazing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. How did they get from where they were? Where were they? How did they get from Las Vegas to Qatar? Let's have a look at that in mileage. The direct air distance between Las Vegas and Qatar is approximately 8,123 miles. Don't forget, that's air distance. That's as the crow flies. In a direct line, 8,123 miles away. That's just crazy. That's just crazy that they've managed to do that. Now, don't forget, of course, most of their stuff is carried on huge transporters. So they're having to go by road for a lot of it. That's just absolutely crazy. They literally must have finished at Las Vegas and straight away had to start packing up the big trucks to go to Qatar. They must have done. There would have been no chance for any kind of, oh, hang on, we'll do it tomorrow. It's just crazy. 8,123 miles away. It says this is a long-haul flight, and most routes will involve layovers in cities like London or Frankfurt, increasing the total distance flown depending on the specific path taken. 13,000 kilometres. That's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. And then as soon as they've done this one, they've got to do exactly the same again for Abu Dhabi. Although Abu Dhabi is a lot closer to Qatar, isn't it? Qatar to Abu Dhabi. That's going to be very close, I would presume. I presume. Yes. Oh, you can actually look at that. You can actually do that by road. Oh, look at that. You can do that by road and not have to go across the water. It's only 593 kilometres away. It takes you 6 hours and 17 minutes to drive there. Oh, so as soon as they get into Qatar, then the final round at Abu Dhabi is not going to be such a bad thing. I mean, still 5-6 hours away, but it's not as bad as. So this is the one. Trying to get all their vehicles and what have you to Qatar has been the worst one. Really has, and they've had literally 5 days to get there. That's crazy, absolutely crazy. But anyway, once they're in Qatar, it'll be a lot easier. Look, it's just along the E11. Yeah, look, that's all you got to do. Just go along the E11 and you got it, and you're there, mate. Yeah, Yeah, it's like our M25, isn't it? And yeah, that's all it is. Just go along the E11, mate, and you'll get there. Yeah. Imagine that if you're in Qatar. Excuse me, mate. Can you tell me how to get to Abu Dhabi? Yeah, I can, mate. I can, mate. All you got to do, put my glasses down like a taxi driver. All you got to do, mate, is you got to go along the E11. Yeah, 6 hours and 17 minutes, and you'll be there. Yeah. Wowzers. Wowzers. But there it is. Not that far away. Right. Back to the chat. Before they all fall asleep. The Korean Grand Prix is only remembered for being the race Mark Webber bottled the championship in 2010. Yes. Maybe YouTube have filtered him because of his news. They might have done, but it's nothing I've done. I haven't done anything to stop his messages coming up. So yeah, it's weird. Congrats to George of the Russell for winning the Qatar Grand Prix. Congratulations to Lando Norris for winning Abu Dhabi. I have made some predictions for 2025, one being that Verstappen would win his 5th world title, and another being that Lewis Hamilton would win at least one race. Oh dear. Well, that one race, I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest. I don't think that's going to happen, that one race. Because he's only got 2 races to achieve that, hasn't he? And I can't see it. Apart from anything else, of course, there's a fight now for the championship, and Lewis is not going to want to get involved in that. Even if by some miracle he ends up in a position when he's at where he's at in front, he's not going to want to get involved with someone else's championship. So he'd probably give up his position, in fact, to, let the championship protagonist sort it out. Obviously, if he's in the lead, he'll stay there. But, I can't see that win happening from Lewis at the end of the season with just 2 rounds to go. It's a little bit far off, I think. But anyway, as Murray once said, anything can happen in Formula One, and it usually does. So who knows? We may see a Lulu win at Abu Dhabi. Yes. I'd like to see a Lulu win at Abu Dhabi, and then as soon as he crosses the finish line, I'd like him to say, right, that's it. I'm hanging it up. Thanks, everyone. It's been great. And that would be a fitting send-off to Lewis Hamilton. A fitting send-off. I'd be very happy with that. Free Britney Spears, says Mr. Yes, I've seen that one. What a strange story that was, wasn't it, eh? What a strange story. Yes, anyone doesn't know that story, just look it up on Google. Britney Spears. Yes, very... Brian Harvey, he once ran over himself. I'm laughing and I still haven't read it all yet. Brian Harvey, he once ran over himself because he left the handbrake on his car. Now, I shouldn't laugh about that because, that's not funny, especially the Anton Yelchin, who was played Chekhov in the Star Trek movies, the rebooted Star Trek movies. Unfortunately, exactly the same thing happened to him, and he was up against the gate of his house, and it was a Jeep, and it actually crushed him between the gate and his car, and actually killed him. So yeah, but these tragedies happen. But in the case of Brian Harvey, if anyone knows Brian Harvey, he's a bit of a loon. He really is a bit of a loon. So yeah, that is quite funny that he ran over himself because he left the handbrake on his. Oh my God! Damn! Jingle Jingle Atkins. Yes. He's a very special man. He really is a very special man, and he needs to be in a very special place. As long as it's not YouTube, because, yeah. Jerry had 4 number ones. Yeah, 4 number ones. I bet it's due to the sport's popularity why some countries have hosted more than 1 Grand Prix most of the time in Formula 1. Yeah, I think you're right there, Shane. 4 more than her talents warranted, says the Paddock Lesbians. Oh, dear. Now, come on. It's Raining Men, even though it's not an original song, done by the Weather Girls, of course, back in the day. Yes, back in the day. But even that wasn't an original song because, you know, I think it was, when did it first come out? Was it sometime in the 50s, I think, wasn't it? I think it was. I got to check it. Otherwise, my brain won't let me sleep tonight if I don't find out. I think it was the 50s. Come on, Mr. AI robot. Tell me. Oh no, no, that's surely that wasn't the Weather Girls. Was it the Weather Girls? Did they have the original? Surely not. I thought it come out in the 50s. Nah, surely it come out in the 50s. What's this Paul Jabbar? Is that? Oh, he co-wrote this. Well, that's weird. I thought that was an old song from the 50s. Wowzers. It was the Weather Girls. Oh my god. Well, there's a turn up for the books. There's a turn up for the books. Well, we cannot let this heresy go. You know, if they did the original, which I didn't think they did, but they obviously had done, we can't let this heresy go untarnished. We've got to show some of the original. It's only I was hitting the limits of copyright there. There you go. That was the original, which I didn't think was the original, but it was. Yes. GT2 had 650 cars, whereas GT3 only had 180. I thought it was about that amount, 100 and something. Jerry Horner made music. How many cars did GT4 have? GT4 had 721. Yes, I remember that. I remember that old... it had the Model T in it, didn't it, GT4? Sure it did. It had this big like carriage you sat on top of. I remember that one. Alors on dance, or And So We Dance. When Formula One first raced at Baku in Azerbaijan in 2016, why was it called the European Grand Prix instead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix? I think because we had the European Grand Prix for the years before that, Shane, so they chose Azerbaijan to be their European Grand Prix. That's my guess. Just a small increase then. Obviously the lack of cars in 3 was because of time. Yeah, I think it was because of time. I remember reading an article about it, and it said that the cars in the PS1 GTs, which is GT and GT2, took about a day to render. And that was it. They were done. So it took about a day. And I remember reading this article. It said for the PS2 cars, it took them about 2 weeks to render. I know that sounds ridiculous these days, but don't forget you're talking about the technology back then. You know, they were probably only doing like a third of the car every day. So yeah, they said it took them about 2 weeks to render each car. Hence the drastic reduction. But of course, they obviously over time managed to get that down and get the job done quicker, because you know you also got to think about the computers they were using at the time. They were pretty, you know, old, outdated tech really compared to stuff we've got today. I mean, I'm pretty sure a car in GT7 is probably rendered in about 4 hours from start to finish, using all the AI technology at our disposal and all that crap. I'm sure that they can probably do a car in about 4 hours now, whereas back then, as I say, they were using huge, big old computers. So yeah, it would have taken a long time to do. Money shame. Don't tell me you're going to listen to that. Yes, I just have. What a feeling. The reason why the Bahrain Grand Prix is at night now is because it's hot in Bahrain. Jerry Horner, show us the Call on Me video. That song brings back my childhood. It's raining men, amen. Sounds a little like Every Time We Touch by Casada. Yes. It's raining WhatsApp pings. I saw what you did there and I like it. The GT2 intro brings back my childhood as well. I wish I had a car. What's this song? Have you heard of Spy Hunter on PS2? Yes, I have, Shane. New to become Daddy Boy's PR shield. I love Driven on PS2. Yeah, I remember that wasn't a bad game, if I remember rightly. Aston Martin won't win a race next year, says Lionel Plessy. If you buy an Aston Martin t-shirt, you're putting more money into the Stroll family's wallet. That's true. That's very true. I never thought of that. And the more money that Daddy Stroll gets means the more chance that he's going to keep his little boy on even longer. So if you want to keep Lance Stroll in Formula 1, buy an Aston Martin t-shirt. If you don't, then don't. Simple as. Sky Sports F1 will be gone in a few weeks temporarily as it becomes a darts channel. That's just amazing. I never knew that. I remember, I think it was about 5 years ago now, they said I could have Sky Sports F1 free for, I don't know what it was, a couple of months or whatever. But it was during the off season, and I remember watching it, and I remember it was full of like old races. And I thought, well, this is not bad sort of, entertainment to keep everyone going until the season starts, showing old races. But now it's a darts channel when the season finishes. Lovely. Alonso will win a few races, but won't be that much in the championship hunt next season. I wonder if Aston Martin t-shirt would suit me, says Shane. I remember one year someone complained about the F1 channel turning to a darts channel. It was only a temporary thing, because I do suit green. They only drive between the races when within Europe. Otherwise, they'd fly everything over. Can you do that taxi skit again, but in Arabic? No, I can't do it in Arabic. I could try, but I'd probably offend half the population of the Arab countries. Yes. How dare YouTube cancel me? Yes. My bold prediction next year, Lewis will be dropped midway through next year. Oh dear. That's a possibility. Brian Harvey seems like a clever person. Well, you could say the same about me, Mr. Pallet Lesbians. I seem like a clever person, but trust me, I'm really not. Mr. Atkins needs to be in the same home as you. You're right. You're right. Mr. Atkins needs to be in the same home as me. Yes. But I think in the pecking order of madness, yeah, I think I'm pretty low in the order, to be honest. I do like a nice conspiracy theory, and I've said always that I do believe that aliens do exist, because there is no way we as human beings could be stupid enough to believe that we're the only species in the whole of the galaxy, the universe, everything. It's just not possible, is it? It's not possible. How on earth could just one intelligent species be in the whole of the... It's not possible. There are probably millions of species like us. I mean, they'll be different. They won't be the same as us because we evolved on Earth, which means our whole development has been created because of the way Earth is. Other species would have evolved on different planets with different atmospheres, and so, they would look different. They probably would be the same as us. They would be bipedal like us. But they might have bigger noses because of the atmosphere differences. It's all evolution. You adapt to your surroundings. So as a person, if you were living on Mars, which is very hostile, your actual appearance would be adapted to match that planet. So as I say, there's probably millions of different species out there on loads of planets which are kind of like us, as I say, bipedal, which means we stand upright on four legs, or there might be people that walk around like dogs do, who knows. But mostly I think they'll be bipedal, because that seems to be the norm for species right now. Of course, we used to also, wander around on all fours before we managed to work out how to stand up properly. But yeah, so there's probably millions of species out there that look pretty similar but aren't. And some of them could be far in technical advancements than what we are. They could have the ability to make spaceships. They could have the ability to have a faster than light drive. So they could be coming over to this planet to come into our atmosphere to view us, to see what's going on with this planet. Now, have they got nefarious agendas? Are they going to come down and take over the planet? Who knows? But the evidence kind of points to that's not going to happen. Most of the time it seems to be sort of, that they very much want to stay in the background, and all these abductions and stuff like that, it's always been done in sort of deserted places. You've never actually seen a spaceship come down in the middle of London and abduct. No, it's always out somewhere in a deserted, forest or whatever. That's where it usually happens. So they seem to want to remain, on the sidelines. They don't want to be discovered, basically. They want to do everything in secret. So I don't believe that their plans are nefarious or they want to take over the world. I think they've just got a natural curiosity. Now, of course, there is an opinion that these could be time travelers, and they are actually us from the future who then travel back in time to see how we're doing, because in the future maybe there was some kind of event that was a tragedy and they want to stop that event from happening. That's always a possibility as well. They could well be time travelers, because you can travel backwards in time. Yes. The main problem is travelling forwards in time, because at that point time hasn't happened yet. So I don't think that's possible. But Einstein said that yes, you can travel backwards in time because that event has already happened. So maybe that's what they're doing. But then you've got to ask the question, but then can they get back to their own time? Well, obviously they can do. But then that isn't going forward in time, because they're only going back to the time that they were there anyway. So they're still not going forwards. It's always going backwards. They may already be 200 years in the future, if you know what I mean. So they're just going backwards into our time. That's my theory anyway. Now I'm going to stop rambling. It came out in the 80s and it was on top of the pops. Like, for example, every year from 1976 to 2012, except for 2007, some countries have hosted more than one Grand Prix. Then from 2013 to 2019, no country hosted more than one Grand Prix. Like for 2007, I looked on Wikipedia, 2007 was the first time since 1975 that no country hosted more than one Grand Prix. Interesting stuff this. It was raining men. Dave has been cancelled again. Yeah, don't worry. I was just... they actually sent me a message to say I just paused the stream. The stream is dead. The stream's gone. Copyright. The stream is... and it's live again. Yeah. It was just a pause. Don't worry. You're back live. I'm glad. Indeed, Shane. Driven Game was as bad as the movie. Oh, was it? I don't know. E17 now is just a tribute act. Only one of the original members is still in the band. I thought you had heard of Spy Hunter on PS2 because you have heard of a lot of racing game series like Ford Racing, London Racer, Burnout, Midnight Club and Motorstorm on PS3. Yes, I have. I have played both Spy Hunter 1 and 2 on PS2. I've never actually played Spy Hunter on PS2. I did play the originals back in the arcades, back in the day. Loads of people on the E17 videos keep saying, "Where's Brian? Where's Tony?" Have you watched any Christmas movies, Dave? I try not to, Shane. I have to admit, I'm not a fan of Christmas. No. Just think of me as the Grinch. Yes, I'm the Grinch at Christmas. I just go around going, bah, humbug, bloody Christmas. That's me. That's me to a T. Yes, I'm not a fan of Christmas. I never have been for quite a few years. It's gone way too commercialised. I saw the first Christmas advert on the 31st of October, Halloween. There was a Christmas advert and I went, are you actually kidding me? Actually kidding me? How can you turn one day, this is what it is, one day into a 2-month spectacular? Because that's what you're doing. It's just crazy. Just crazy. I mean, I remember the adverts used to start earlier, but it's usually, 1st December, we started getting the Christmas adverts. But 31st of October, come on. They've been going all the way through this month now about, oh, it's Christmas. No, it isn't. It isn't Christmas, is it? It's the 27th of November. It's nowhere near Christmas. It won't be Christmas next week. It won't be Christmas the week after, or the week after that. It probably will be the week after that. But there you go. Then it's Christmas. But it's not Christmas now, is it? Unbelievable. Have you heard any of the Sonic racing games today, which are Sonic Drift 1 and 2 on Game Gear, Sonic R on Sega Saturn, and Sonic... Yes, I have heard of all of them, Jane. Ford Racing was a Gran Turismo rip-off. I think they reused the sound effects. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Newey to become Daddy Boy's PR shield. There was a Christmas music show in September a few years ago. September. Channel 5's the worst one in the UK, isn't it? I noticed they started showing Christmas movies on the 1st of November. I saw them coming up. All through the daytime, it's Christmas movies on Channel 5. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. It just destroys the actual event if you start doing it too early. It just really does. It just destroys it. It commercialises it too much. And it's just ridiculous. I've also noticed, and I do have to apologise for this, YouTube have also started their Christmas ads, which means that instead of just a couple of ads you get during a video now, you're getting up to 4 or 5 ads during a video. I still try to keep my ads as low as possible, but if you're watching my videos in the future from now until Christmas, there may be extra ads, and I apologise for that because they're not generated by me, they're generated by YouTube. But yeah, YouTube's gone crazy now on the ads. And I was watching something last night, and it said, when it comes up in the corner of the screen, skip in 5 seconds. So I skipped it, and then another ad came up. I went, wait, I've just skipped this ad. And it said skip in 5 seconds. So I pressed it again, and another ad came up, and it said skip. I said, what's the point of skipping the ad then if the next one comes up? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, YouTube's doing its usual Christmas extravaganza, otherwise known as let's see how much money we can make before Christmas Day. What? You bar humbug, Dave? Yes, that's me, Shane. But I love Christmas so much. Well, good for you, Shane. I'm glad someone does. No, really, genuinely, I'm glad someone does. Christmas is not for me. It may be an age thing, actually, Shane, because as you get older, it becomes less relevant. So as long as you still enjoy it, that's all that matters. But for me, it's no. I actually spend Christmas Day watching old war films from the 60s. Yes, I do that every single year. Okay, let's just release the sadness now. Or we should have the violin playing in the background, really. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, every Christmas Day I watch war movies. I start with the immortal classic 633 Squadron. Don't fight me on that one. I then follow it up with the Battle of Britain. Yes. And then for dessert, I have one of my all-time favourites, the Battle of the Bulge. Yes. And I watch them on Christmas Day every year for about the past God knows how many years now. And that's my Christmas Day. Yes. God, that sounds so sad and pathetic, doesn't it? Yes. I'm sure they showed them in July once, or I'm thinking of another channel. Oh, I bet they did. I was about to ask you next week in December if you're looking forward to Christmas, and now I hear you're not a fan of Christmas. What a shock. Back in the day, every year, people used to look forward to the Only Fools and Horses Christmas special. Now it's Mrs. Brown. Yes. Yes. Poor old Only Fools and Horses. I'm still upset that it finished, to be honest. I really am. That was what made Christmas. Now, yes. Now, back in those days, yes, it would be. I'd get up in the morning and I'd open my stocking. Yes, my stocking, which had lots of stuff in it. Usually an orange, a banana, and some chocolate. Yes, that's what I had in my stocking, chocolate. And then I'd probably eat the banana and the orange and get a really high vitamin C overdose and have to go back to sleep for an hour. Then I'd be up and it'd be like lunchtime, and then we'd have our Christmas lunch, which is like a mini Christmas dinner. It's when Christmas dinner isn't quite ready yet, but you're still hungry, so you have a little mini. You know, it might be a little bit of meat, a little bit of veg. You know, a little bit of veg, just a little, you know, little starter. And then of course the afternoon, it's time for the big feast. Yes, the Christmas dinner. Yes, stuff your face with as much as you can. Yes, and you're so full that you just, your brain cannot keep you awake because you're so full of food, and you start to feel sleepy. And you're nodding off. And within 5 minutes of nodding off, suddenly you're watching the BBC, because everyone watched the BBC back in the day, and the BBC says, coming up in 5 minutes, it's the Only Fools and Horses Christmas, and you'd be instantly awake, and you'd be like, I'm ready for this, let's do it. And that was Christmas Day in a nutshell. Yes, in my house back in the day. Yes. My late gran used to think Mrs. Brown was an actual woman. Yes, I don't doubt it. I did as well, actually. Yes, I did as well for a bit. Also, Top of the Pops, that used to be a Christmas highlight. Oh yes, the Top of the Pops Christmas special. Fantastic. 3 o'clock in the afternoon that was, wasn't it? Yeah, that must have been in the time just after my Christmas lunch and before dinner, when I was sort of dozing. And then Top of the Pops had come on. Glorious. Absolutely glorious. And of course, you had all the Christmas, not just Christmas movies, but all the good movies that they used to put on over Christmas back in the day. Now, back in the day, I used to have a VHS recorder. If anyone doesn't know what that is, it's a tape recorder. Yes, very popular in the 80s. And I used to have a VHS recorder. And every December, I had to go to the shops and I would buy 20 blank videotapes to record all the films that were on over Christmas. 20 blank videotapes. And I used to fill those tapes up with as many films as I could cram on there, because the films over Christmas was just epic. This was the days before Sky Movies and all the movies that you can get on streaming services now. This is all before those days. You got your movies then off of the main channels. BBC, ITV, Channel 4. I don't even think Channel 5 was going back then. I think it was only 4 channels. Yes, this is where you got all your movies from. Yes. Now, and they were premieres, and yet they were 5-year-old movies, and yet they were premiering on like ITV and Channel 4, and yet they were 5 years old. 5 years old. Just bear that in mind when you think that basically a movie comes out now and it's pretty much available for streaming straight away or within a week. No. Back in the day, we had to wait 5 years. 5 years to see a movie. Star Wars premiered on ITV 5 years after it was out of the cinema in 1977. Yes. 5 years later, it was premiered on the television. But that was it. That was glorious to us. We just, that was it. We've got too much given to us on a plate these days. That's the problem with society now. Everything is just too fast and it's just too quick. Things were just a lot better back then. I mean, you know, can you imagine waiting 5 years for a movie to be on the TV? But anyway, so I used to have 20 tapes. I used to fill it with movies. And I did that for years and years and years. And then slowly I started to tail off. 15 tapes. 10 tapes. Then it was, 5 tapes will do. I'll buy a pack of 5 because they used to be in packs of 5. 5-pack, that'll do because there's not as many movies as there was. And then slowly it deteriorated to no tapes. And then I ended up not recording anything because there just wasn't any films on worth recording. And because of course we were starting to catch up to sort of, you know, the 90s and the noughties. And then it was all over. It was all over. And yet it was glorious times back then. It really was. Just like the 80s. And unless you're in the 80s, I can't explain it to you. But the 80s was just, it's just a great time. And considering there was poverty, there was unemployment, over 4 million unemployed, which is nothing compared to now. But over 4 million unemployed, it was just a glorious time. And it was a time when technology was just in its infancy and just starting to evolve. Computers were just coming on the scene. Yes, imagine that. Computers just coming on the scene. And you had the technology, video cameras, they were like that big. Were just starting to come out, you know? And of course, tape players, Walkmans. You could listen to music on the move. Yes. Oh my God, you could just do it with any mobile phone now. You don't need a Walkman. But it's just glorious. Absolutely glorious. Really was. Only Fools and Horses is still on every weekend on Gold, which is a channel you can't get as it's on Sky. Oh, is it on Sky now? I haven't looked at my cable for ages, so I haven't looked at Gold for ages either. Oh, I see. Well, I'm not younger than you, Dave, so I still enjoy Christmas. Oh, that's all right, Shane. What shall we watch on Christmas? The Grinch, Elf? Nope. Bloody Michael Bay's Pearl Harbor. Oh, Pearl Harbor. I love that movie. I really do. I love it. No, not really. But I have to say, some of the action scenes in it are very good. Very good indeed. But the plot and the love story just don't do it for me whatsoever. It's just, you know, don't put a love story in a war movie. Makes no sense. There's no love story in the Battle of Britain. There's no love story in 633 Squadron. There's no love story in the Battle of the Bulge. Although you could make your own story out of that, but anyway. But you get my point. Don't put a love story in a war movie. No. Pointless. Absolutely pointless. Really is. But the action scenes were really good in that film. But the rest of it was just absolute waffle. Absolute waffle. The 3 Only Fools and Horses episodes that did it in the 2000s don't exist. Del, Rodney and Albert all walked off into the sunset with Del telling both of them, this time next year we could be billionaires. Yes, I remember that. I remember that well. Into the sunset. And that was it. That was it. And so I've heard. I think it's very sad, but Rodney, you plonker. Rodney and Del Boy, so I've heard, David Jason and Nicholas Lyndhurst have actually fallen out in real life, which I think is very, very sad. So if you're watching, you two, I'm sure you will be, sort it out because life's too short, okay? Life's too short, and, you know, bring each other up on Christmas Day and have a conversation because we can't have Rodney and Del Boy having a fallout. That's not on. The universe is not in balance until you're okay. Because, of course, he went over to do Frasier, didn't he, in the US, which has now been cancelled because it flopped. But, yeah, it doesn't seem right. I don't know what happened and why they've fallen out, but apparently that's what I've heard. They haven't spoken for quite a few years, apparently, which is even sadder when you consider how much they were in each other's pockets when they were making Only Fools and Horses. They must have been filming with each other all the time, and yet now they don't speak to each other. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. I was also going to ask you what you're getting for Christmas Day, but I assume you won't be getting anything. That is correct, Shane. I won't be getting anything for Christmas. I might get a bit of cash, but that's about it. We really, as a family, stopped doing presents quite a few years ago now. I'll probably get a bit of cash, but that'll be it. I think we don't usually go in for presents anymore. Unfortunately, the family is diminishing very, very fast. There's very few members of our family left right now, and I won't go into details, but sadly we'll be losing someone else soon as well. Anyway, Top of the Pops Christmas 1984 has to be the best one. No host, just the acts on introducing one another. The end had Band-Aid, well, some of them. Wow, nice one. 1984 was the best year for music, in my opinion. It was like the temporal junction point for music. I can't explain it, but 84 was the best year for music. There was just so much came out in 84. It's ridiculous. Presuming that was in between your dad drunkenly burning the tree. Yes. Good old daddy. Yes. Burning up the tree and yes. Burning the tree. Yes. I have spoken about this before, but as some people know, but yes, I did have a father who was an alcoholic. He was an alcoholic pretty much from the day I was born. In fact, he was an alcoholic way before I was born. He was an alcoholic from 14 years old because it went through the generations. His father was also an alcoholic, so he became an alcoholic. It didn't translate to me, though, because I stopped that straight away, and I'm actually teetotal. I don't drink at all because I like to think that there is a way of breaking the cycle, and that's how you do it. So, yes, I am teetotal. I have been drunk a few times in my youth, but I decided it wasn't for me. So I just don't drink at all. I have no problem with people that drink, by the way. I'm not one of those people, oh, no, you should do. No problem with that whatsoever. It's just as a personal choice, I choose not to drink whatsoever. I have this problem with being out of control. I like to be in control of my faculties at all times. So the point of being drunk and out of it doesn't appeal to me. No, I like to be in control, just in case I do something stupid, which is most of the time anyway when I am not drunk. So yes, getting drunk is not appealing to me whatsoever. In 2022, during a massive heatwave, Film 4 was showing White Christmas. Wowzers. Bay's pathetic attempt to cash in on the Titanic's romance, etc. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is. You can clearly see that's why it was done. It was his attempt at the Rose romance. The Rose romance. I'm still saying there was room on that bit of wood for Jack. The selfish bitch. Yes, the selfish bitch. There was plenty of room on that plank of wood for Jack. What was she thinking? Blimey. I mean, Jack could have laid on top of her, couldn't he? Then they would have been occupying the same space, only on top of each other. Hello? Why did no one think of that? Yes. Unbelievable. In fact, you know what? This is a contrivance. We ought to contact that fixed guy to ask him to investigate why Jack was not allowed on that piece of wood. This is what we need. This is the real stories. Forget about Formula 1 and all that jankiness. We want to know why Rose, the bitch, didn't let Jack on that bit of wood and let him freeze to death. Unbelievable. Heresy. After that, he gave up and just milked Transformers as much as it was worth. Yes. Now, I love Transformers. Yes. The first movie was great. Absolutely great. The second movie, almost as good. Third movie, pile of cack. When they went to the moon and they tried to make it the moon landings because they found a transformer on the... That's when it lost me. And I went, no... No. 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 Why do you do this? Then the fourth movie came along, and that was even worse. And then they brought in Marky Mark, didn't they, for the fourth movie? Marky Mark, yes, Mark Wahlberg. And in the fifth movie, and that was even worse. Oh my God, that was even worse. And then they brought poor old what's his name, Hannibal Lecter out of retirement for that movie. Anthony Hopkins. He literally looked like they dragged him out of the old folks' home, put him in a chair, stood him up, and went, "Act, act." And he's like, "What am I doing? What's my motivation, darling? What's my motive?" It was horrible. It was horrible to see. It really was. And then, of course, they redeemed themselves with Bumblebee. I like Bumblebee. I think that was the best one of the series. Bumblebee was great. Yes. Come at me. Fight me. Bumblebee was the best Transformers since the first one. Telling you. And then they made a seventh one, which was the biggest pile of cack I've ever seen in all my life. I actually paid money for that. Yes, I got it on Blu-ray. Luckily it was only $4.99, but I still think I was robbed, because that seventh Transformers movie was an absolute pile of cack. And unfortunately it was the start of the wokeness, you know, that was starting to creep in. And it's just, oh my God, no. No, 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 no. And now I hear they're making some more. Yes, they're making more Transformers movies. Yes, I can't wait. Not really. Sadly, it does seem like Del, Rodney, Raquel, Cassandra and Denzel are the only ones in the main cast that are still alive. Yeah, I know a lot of them have gone now. But unfortunately, it was back in the 80s, wasn't it? And some of them were quite old anyway, weren't they? So it's natural that they wouldn't still be with us. I'm surprised, actually, David Jason's still with us, because he must be ancient now. Gotta be. He wasn't a young man when he was in Only Fools and Horses, was he? Let's face it. So he's got to be knocking on. He's got to be well in his 80s. Has to be. Well, that's good that you might be getting cash for Christmas. That way you can spend it on something you like. Exactly, Shane. Exactly. I think Top of the Pops from 1979 to 1986 was when it was in its prime. I agree. Wholeheartedly. A lot of people prefer the 60s and the 70s, but 1979 was when the music got even better. Yeah, I was not I don't remember the 60s Top of the Pops because I wasn't born until 69. But I do remember the 70s Top of the Pops. And yeah, it didn't appeal. It didn't appeal. But as you say, yeah, as soon as 79 came along, then into 1980, that's when it really took off. And yeah, it really did. It started to decline in 87 and even 1988, which I think was the worst year of the 80s. Yeah, 88 was very poor. Very poor. So the era of Jimmy Pinehall, yes. Paddy, if we ignore JS, DLT and the rest who tainted the brand, yes. Yes. Tainted the brand, exactly. As I've said this before, they were all my heroes. All my heroes. All those Radio 1 disc jockeys, they were like gods to all of us. They were like superstars. They were like superstars now. They were like your film stars. You know, you got The Rock and all that lot. That was our Radio 1 DJs in this country. That's how we treated them, like gods. But unfortunately, in a lot of situations like that, they then end up abusing that position of being, you know, treated like gods, and that's exactly what a lot of them did. Yes, lots of them did. I had the Radio 1 Roadshow where they used to go out to all like the seaside resorts during the summers of the 80s. Yes. Yes, we won't go into what used to go on during those. We really won't. Anyway, for Christmas I'm wanting both F125 and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 with a PS5. Also I want a cocktail slush maker as well. Nice, nice. Well, 25 I think is quite cheap right now. I think it's half price. The Transformers films were rubbish, but they made billions of pounds at the box office. This is true. This is true. They filmed part of the fifth one near where I lived. Did they really? Did they? What was that? What's that? Stonehenge? Oh, boom, boom. Stonehenge. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. Bay didn't direct Bumblebee, and The Six was a standalone movie. Yes, it was. And you're right. He didn't direct Bumblebee. That's why it was so good, basically. Because Bay he'd just given up with Transformers at that point. Once he got to the fifth one, he couldn't be bothered. There's only 2 surviving 60s Top of the Pops. They cannot show either. No guesses as to what. Ah, yes, I can guess why. I can guess why. Man with the initials JS, I'm guessing. Yes, yes. Top of the Pops in 1998. That's currently on, has been absolutely terrible. So much bland pop and rubbish covers. All the good songs get skipped. Because I love a cocktail, says Shay. A good thing Top of the Pops ended in 2006, or we'd have Taylor Swift on every... Yes, we would. And that would be a disaster. That would be a disaster. Or as someone who we know would say, a contrivance. Yes, that would be a contrivance. Do you know, I was just thinking the other day, I think Jimmy Atkins is probably the only person in the UK that uses the word contrivance. I've never used it in a conversation in 56 years. And I don't expect any of you guys have ever said in a conversation, no, that's contrivance, mate. That is. No. So I think James is quite possibly the only one in the UK, might even be the world, who actually uses that word. Yes. So well done. He should be in the top fans. Yes, he should be in the top fans. Do. Oh, I got a message. Oh, you've been cancelled. Well, that's not for the first time. Right, we've got some more circuits for you, everyone. This is from our friend Mr. Lesbians. I've forgotten what he said now. God. Right, the first circuit is in Alla Corona for touring cars. The second circuit is in Budapest for Formula E. There you go. So this is for the touring cars. Tell me what you think of this one. I quite like that. It's got a couple of nice little sweepies down here. I like that. Yes, looks like a pair of nipples. Yes. That definitely looks like a pair of nipples. I like it. I like it already. Yes. And this one is a E Grand Prix, apparently. You know, those electric bicycle things that go over. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've got to do it. You know I'm going to do it anyway. That looks like a penis. That looks like a huge penis with a big... Anyway, that's not. Yes, but it does. That looks like a penis. Yes. No, I quite like that. I like the way it's going round the some kind of grandstand. It says Pushka's Arena. Don't know what they're doing there. Is it football or some kind of athletic sport? I don't know, but I do like the way it sweeps around the outside of the arena. It's very nice. I don't know what that is there. It looks like a flying saucer has landed there, but I don't know. That's probably some kind of hospitality area or a hotel or something. But there it is. Give us your ratings. There. Oh, wait a minute. You can't see it because I've got my big ugly face in the way. Sorry about that. I've got 2 screens, you see, and I'm looking at the other screen and not the screen that you're looking at. Okay. I apologise for that. Right, here it is then. This is the E Grand Prix. I'm going to say it again. I'm sorry, that looks like a penis. That looks like a penis. Yes. Looks like a penis. But I do like the way it sweeps around this arena. That's good. Like it. And this funny little building here, which might be a hospitality area or something. I don't know. Or a gymnasium. I don't know. But there it is. And the other one is, that's the touring car circuit. There you go. Right, I've done them now. I've done them now. Because I love a cocktail. A good thing, Top of the Pops. Oh, we've done that. Because I do drink alcohol, Dave. Nice. F1 just interviewed Max, asking if he could win his fifth. Another made-up circuit. Hello, Hook. Hello, Mr. Matthew 7657. Welcome to the party. You're very, very late, young man. Very, very late indeed. I'm just about to finish, in fact, in about 2 minutes. Apparently, DeRay's directed another Transformers movie. Oh, God. Oh, I can't wait. Take my money now. I will go to the cinema. Can I watch it now? What do you mean he hasn't made it yet? I don't care. I'll watch the rushes of it because I can't wait. I cannot wait to watch another Michael Bay Transformers movie. Yes. No one can see. Oh, I've done it. Pushka's area is a football stadium. Oh, thank you. Football. I didn't see the other one either. We got it all now. More made up circuits. Ratings, everyone. What do you think of the day? I think I just said that earlier, didn't I? I like them both. There you go. I like them both. Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get Michael Bay on this all season. Yes, I should do, shouldn't I? I should do, because just like the Transformers movies, the all seasons is completely made up from start to finish. Yes. It's complete fantasy, just like Michael Bay's head. Yes, the inside of Michael Bay's head. He's probably got an idea for an all seasons movie percolating in his brain right now. Yes, yes. I can't wait. I hope they take me on as the director, because I need to be the director of my own all seasons movie, for God's sake. I can't be in it because I'll be too old by then. I'll be ancient and decrepit. Well, a little bit more ancient and decrepit than I am now. But I need to be a director of the all seasons movie. That needs to be done. I drink beer, wine, cider, whiskey, rum, vodka, rum, and every single alcoholic drink. Bloody hell, Shane. Bloody hell. Calm down. Not all at once, hopefully. The all seasons is like all Bay movies. Unwatchable crap. You said all at once. Right, that's it, everyone. 1 hour and 57 minutes. We're out of time. Are you the zombified version of Dave's dad? I like what you did there, but stop it. But I still like what you did there. Yes. Actually, I should correct you on that. That's the charcoal briquette version. Yes, charcoal briquette, because that's what he is right now. Yes, charcoal briquette. Anyway, let's move on now to the favourite part. Dave is hugging TB. That's nice. Yes, that's it. It's now time for our favourite part of the show. It's time for the top fans. Let's get me music ready. I really should just steal this off of YouTube, shouldn't I? Put it into Audacity, and I might have to keep trying to find it every week. That's what I should do. When I get round to it, I will. Adverts. Right, that's ready to go. He does more than hug him, Shane. Oh, yes. Yes. Me and the bear. Me and the bear off camera. Oh, you really wouldn't. You really wouldn't. Just think. Just think of the worst images you could ever have in your head. It's worse. It's worse than that. Yes. It's just think of the worst horror film you've ever seen in your. It's worse than that. It's worse than that. Yes. Anyway, it's time now for the top fans. I've been spying over part of you does turn last week that I used to live with my nan at the time when you started the All Seasons, but she passed away on the 1st of December 2019. Well, good for you, Shane. Good for you. Right, it's time for the top fans. Yes. That means it's time to spam the chat. 1 minute of spam starting now. Go. Spam the chat. Spam the chat. Spam, spam, spam. Spammy, spam, 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 spam the chat. I'm not going to read them out. Just spam it. Spam it. Spam it. Spam it. Spam that chat. Come on. Come on. Come on. 45 seconds left. Spam that chat. Spam that chat. Spam that chat. Spammy, spammy, spam, spams. No one's spamming the... Why aren't we spamming the... Why is no one spamming the chat? Why is no one spamming the chat? Come on. You got 30 seconds left. Oh, here we go. Finally, someone's spamming the chat. Here we go. 25 seconds left. Spam, 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 spam. Spam. 15 seconds left. Spam. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0. Everyone, stop spamming the chat. 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 Thank you. And you said to me that you're glad the All Seasons brings me back memories. Yes, I do, Shane. Very glad. Because of how much I miss being at my nan's house. Indeed. Right. Are we done? I think we are. Right. Let's go full screen. Let's go full screen. Wait until Dave realises what I've... Here we go. Here we go. Dave is a idiot. Unfortunately, it's the truth. And you can't lie about the truth. I am an idiot. Yes. An absolute idiot. Yes. I am. I am. And just to annoy you even more, I'm gonna give two of me. Here I am. Here I am twice. Look, if you think you can't get enough of the Hookster, well, here I am, double bubble. Look at this. Look. See what's going on here? Yeah. Is your brain getting confused with two of me now? I expect it is. I expect it is. You watch this. This other camera's not going to flicker now. No, it's not going to flicker now. Unbelievable. But there you go. There's two of me. In fact, because I'm just about to go, I'll deactivate the 720p because if this one flickers, it doesn't really matter because I'm just about to leave. I'm just going to leave it on to see if it does. Be just my luck if it stopped flickering now, isn't it? Just my bloody luck, as I went out and got another 20 quid camera. But anyway, here I am. Here I am in 1080p. 1080p. 1080p, Dave. Yes. Do I look different? Do I look different in 1080p? Yes. Do I? Do I look different? Yes. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. There it goes. There's the flicker. That's all. That's all we need. I don't care now because I'm going in a minute anyway. Right. I'm going to sneeze now. Oh. Oh, chew. My eyes are burning. What? Because of me in 1080p? Me in 1080p? Surely not. Surely not. Yes. This is what I use for my other performances, you know? Yes, when you need a little bit more quality, you know what I mean? A little bit more quality. Yes. We want Sipang back. Yes, right, anyway. I'm pressing the button now for top fans. Pressing it now. That's it. We are done. We are done. We are done, everyone. Right. Let's make sure we can get it in shot. Is it there? Is it there? Is it? Yes, it's there. Right. It's time for top fans. Let's put the volume down on the thing. Why you won't hear me? Oh, that is flickering bad, isn't it? Anyway, who cares? Just about to go. Right, top fans for this week. Everybody. For that, because I keep getting copyrighted for it. Anyway, so there you go, everyone. Make myself a bit smaller here. That's what she said. And we go back to the chat. There we go. There we go. Right. Well, that's it, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Of course, we have the Qatar Grand Prix this weekend with a sprint round as well. If Lando Norris wins the sprint round, it's going to be pretty good for his championship chances, I do believe. Anyway, there you go. It's over. Top fans. It was nice to tell you about my nan last week and how much I miss being at her house, because I spent 19 years at her house from 2000 to 2019, from when I was 2 to 21 years old. Because it's nice to share your problems with other people. Yes, it is, Shane. Top fans, music is on. Rugara bottles the podium places, more points. Congratulations to Shane and Paddock69. Oh God, the lesbians have squirted all over again. Oh dear. Oh dear. that's been it this week, it looks like. Just to let you know, Dave, since it's the 1st of December on Monday, it'll be my nan's 6th anniversary. Okay, thanks, Shane. Epic. Did you hear Madrid might be cancelled next year? I did hear that. Yes, I did hear that. They might be cancelling Madrid, which is good news for Codemasters and F1 because they weren't going to put Madrid into the game anyway. For this DLC add-on pack for 26, they weren't going to put Madrid in. So it's good news. It's good news that it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Great. Anyway, there you go, everyone. Thank God. Yeah, thank God. It's a horrible circuit. Horrible circuit. Horrible circuit. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining me tonight, to the Paddock Lesbians, to Shane, to Plynal Plessy, to Mr. Regara, to Will F1, and to Matthew 7657. Will F1 Gaming not on the podium is a bit weird. Might be getting Imola back. That's all right. I like Imola. That's a nice circuit. That's a nice circuit. We can put up with Imola. Like it is good that I'm keeping smiling. Yes, it is, Shane. I quite agree. Anyway, there you go, everyone. Thanks so much for watching tonight. This has been, cannot see Paddock's comment, but he still wins. Yeah, to see his comments, you have to press the live chat up here. Look, I'll show you. You have to press where it says live chat. And then it says top chat or live chat. All messages are visible. You have to press on that one, then his messages come up. If you put top chat, for some unknown reason, all his messages disappear. See that? I don't know why that's doing that. So you have to put in live chat. Like that. And then all his messages appear. I'm very confused why that's happening. Fan funding? What's that? Oh, that's blank. There's nothing there. Because no one's fan funded me. But there you go. All messages are now visible. And you'll see all his messages. In case you want to go back through them. Because unfortunately after the stream finishes, it takes about a day before the messages come up. He still wins. Yes, he does. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. YouTube hates lesbians. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I agree with you. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me for Hookster Talks. Wowzers, yes. I will be back. Very important weekend. If anything happens, if there's any breaking news, if someone else gets disqualified for being a plank again, of course, I will be straight on here to make a couple of quick videos about it. Anything at all that happens, in fact, because it's quite a pivotal weekend, I will be back on here. So thanks you so much for joining me. Thank you, Mr. Regar. He's donated me £1. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. Very nice indeed. Dave cancelled. Yes, Dave cancelled. Yes, I quite agree. Anyway, no, thank you for that, mate. It's very, very appreciated. Very appreciated indeed. So there you go then. Like, I did ring the ambulance that morning when my nan was dying, but it was too late, says Shane. Yeah, I understand, Shane. I understand. Sorry, Pessy, had to be done. Even that couldn't get Regara to the top. Apparently not. Let's go back and see if it has. No, it still hasn't. But there is a delay on the XP going through. So there you go. I'm going to put a like on his pound there. Oh, does that make a difference if I like it? Does that make a difference? No, it doesn't gone up. It doesn't gone up. It's updated several times. Come on. No, doesn't want to go. No, doesn't want to go. Anyway, that's it. Thanks so much for watching me. As I say, I shall be around for the results of the qualifying and the Grand Prix. And if any other news story breaks during this weekend, if there's any contrivance that needs fixing, I will be around. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always. From me and Mr. TB the Bear. Yes, TB's going to go into hibernation because he doesn't want to watch Lulu start in 20th place again, do you, TB? No. He does not. He does not. Regara and Will and the McLaren boys bottled jobs recently. Yes, indeed. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you, everyone. I'm leaving you in 1080p, so you'll have nightmares and you won't be able to sleep tonight. Yes, you'll have nightmares and won't be able to sleep tonight. So I'm leaving you in 1080p. But anyway, I just want to say thanks for joining me tonight. Grand Prix, of course, this weekend at Qatar. We've got a sprint round, which is tomorrow, in fact, on Friday. Qualifying on Saturday. Race on Sunday. Can Max Verstappen pull it out of the bag and win? We will see. We will see indeed. Anyway, thank you everyone. And good night.